It's nice lighting here.
We will get started with questions from Jace. Jace, go ahead.
Hey, Cheryl, coming out of this stretch, what's the most important thing for you to see from the team tomorrow night?
I think play well. I think we played well against Seattle for, in our last game. I thought we played well for 35 minutes. And then, I wouldn't say that we didn't necessarily, not play well for the remainder of the game. We just offensively, just stopped making shots and a couple of bad turnovers, and they just capitalized. And obviously with Seattle, you can't do that. That's something that that's what they do. They feast on turnovers. So I think for us, just, getting a groove, getting Fee involved and, just practice well, play well, because again, we just didn't get those days in training camp. So that's probably what we were looking for the most. And so, tomorrow I want them to see the reward for the work that they put in this week.
Danny, go ahead.
It's weird.
Hey, Coach. I was wondering if I could ask you a couple of questions about the recent signing of Leisha Clarendon. So how would you say Leisha will help this team build towards success, both in terms of their play on the floor and his presence in the locker room?
Yeah, I guess the first part I struggle with is we haven't signed Leisha yet. It's we live in a different world, because you have to go through an onboarding process, and so technically they aren't signed yet. However, Leisha is in Minneapolis and going through the onboarding process, and we hope to be able to to add them in a couple of days. Not here in Seattle, but then we play pretty quickly after that. So I've coached Leisha in USAB situations, but I've never been in the trenches with them, and so it's like I want to see what they're about, and I think our team could use this right now in terms of a veteran player, been in the league, understands how to navigate pick and roll game, has shown great leadership abilities, and so we thought it was something that was very much worth exploring.
Kent, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach, I was kind of intrigued by how you structured this week plus that you had off. You gave him the day off after the game. You practiced twice, gave him a day off, practiced twice, traveled early so you could get a practice in there. Could you just talk about the thinking behind that kind of cadence of practices that you held?
Yeah, it's hard when you don't have practice players, as we've said countless number of times, to do too much too long for too many days. And so in order to maximize what we're getting out of players and their willingness and trying to have their health of paramount importance to us, that a couple of days of hard work, take a day off, get your recovery in, and then hit a couple of days, and then it can be a grind, kind of doing the same thing consecutively for however many days that would be. So we thought getting to Seattle a little bit earlier, get some time as a team together, and also from a time change standpoint, that we get a little bit more adjusted than maybe if we had just gone the day before. So there was a lot of things at play there, but mostly getting a change of scenery after so many consecutive days that were valuable to us, but also being mindful of their overall, players today. You got to keep them interested, and so just finding different ways to keep them interested. That's what it's about.
With the injury, with the hamstring injury to Ariel, does that mean in the short term that Crystal returns to the starting lineup, or are you still thinking about that?
Yeah, no, that's a natural thing. That's an easy decision. That's going to happen. Crystal, whether she's coming off the bench or starting, I think she's in a place now where I think that she's understanding what's needed of her. I just have to get her off the floor because she's got so much value in her ability to play in different ways offensively, and I like what she's doing. I sent her. She's top 5 in the league in assists, and if you remember, that's one of the things that we talked about. And so she's really getting a strong idea of the value of her, different attacks. If you don't guard her at the 3, she's going to shoot it. If you guard her too close, she's going to get into the paint. Sometimes she's going to shoot a floater. Sometimes she's going to pass it out. It's exactly what we want from her.
We'll go 2 more questions. We'll go Neil and then Alexa. Neil, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Just again talking about the week off, basically, and all you've been able to do there. Just kind of wondering, as you look back on this week, as you're now ready to play again, sort of, what was, what do you feel really good about as far as what your team went through this week, and sort of areas of growth potentially, or is just sort of maybe a little mini report on how this week has gone from just not playing games.
Yeah, I think, again, it's a team that we just didn't have a quality training camp of consecutive days of gaining momentum, which I know what that feels like and looks like. We never got to that in this training camp, and so that was our goal. I think if you ask, Fee was new to the group, but if you ask Fee, I think she probably would tell you that she felt like we did gain some momentum. I don't know that we should think that, okay, we spent a week together and that's like the silver bullet and like poof, we're going to win every game. It's not that. It's more getting more comfortable with what we're doing, why we're doing it, getting better at what we're doing. Those were the goals, and I think that we did that, and I think Fee's up to speed, as far as where this team is at and what's needed from her, and so just really valuable time. But doesn't I think when you are at this point searching for a win in your first few games, I think that maybe the only barometer is if you win the next game, and that's not how we're approaching this. Certainly, want to come here to Seattle and win the game. I think if we can do some of the things that we've worked on, we're going to put ourselves in a position to do that. But if we don't win the game, it's not like it was a lost week. This was something that was more about this week was going to be really valuable to things going forward, well beyond just the next game.
We'll go last question to Alexa. Alexa, go ahead.
Hi, Cheryl. I'm sorry if you answered a version of this already. I was a little bit late to logging on, but as you've gotten a chance to see what this group actually looks like in gameplay, what are you looking for Fee to bring, I guess, both in the short term of trying to get things to come together, but also long term as you think about what she should be doing for her third year in the league?
Yeah, I think Fee's just got to be Fee in terms of, she just plays with great activity at both ends of the floor. She doesn't have to do anything beyond that. I don't want her to come here thinking that she's got to do hard things and sort of save us type of thing. Just get in there and do what you do. And, I think that, Fee's natural evolution, I think, is just getting more and more comfortable as a player in this league and knows what's open, when it's open. So you just start to gain so much experience. And so looking for Fee just to, use the experience that she has gotten over the last couple of years and be able to continue to hurt defenses and also continue to evolve. She was in the defensive player of the year conversation last year. That's going to be really helpful for our team this year. And so just keep on that path because it's hard to do year in and year out. And so that in and of itself, just keep being Fee. That's really what she's got to focus on, and it'll continue to help our team.
All righty, that'll be it for Coach. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All righty, we have enough here. I know. We have Fee here. I will get started with questions from Kent, and then we'll go to Jace. If you have a question for Fee, go ahead and raise your hand. Kent, go ahead.
Hi, Fee. So you've had a week now, a bunch of practices. Do you feel like you're kind of integrated back in, and how much do you feel as a team you guys accomplished during this week break?
I do feel integrated in with the team. I think that this week break was great for us. I don't have anything to compare it to practice-wise, but it felt like we got some really, really great work in. Great team chemistry building happening, great practices, working hard, working through things that we struggled in during the games. So I'm excited for us to play our game tomorrow.
A quick follow. Coach said that it's important that you don't feel like you have to come in and be like save and fix everything all by yourself, to just be yourself. But when a team has kind of struggled out of the gate, is it hard not to try to do too much?
I don't think so. I mean, I know what I'm good at. I know what my teammates are good at, and I know what we're supposed to look like. So, like Coach said, I just need to come in and do things that are within our scheme, things that I know how to do as a player, and not try to, do too much, but kind of just try to work in what we've been putting in this past week and integrate it into the game.
Jace, go ahead.
Hey, Fee, obviously a little bit different with Ariel out, but is there an excitement level to just finally play with this group that you've probably been thinking about playing with for a while here?
Yeah, I'm so excited. It was so hard to, be overseas or be at home and watch them play, especially when I was at home. I felt like it was so close but so far away. So I'm so excited to, put, like I said, everything that we've done this week and put it into the game and finally get on, court with these girls, women.
Alexa, go ahead.
Hey, Fee. You mentioned a little bit kind of the expectations you have for yourself, just thrown back into the mix here. But I guess in terms of like the long-term perspective for the rest of the season, what sorts of expectations or goals do you have for yourself, and how did you approach just getting ready for your third year in the league?
Every year, I think my goal is the same. Try to improve myself as a player and do everything that I can to help my team win. The goals stay the same every year. So continuing to do that, I worked on being able to shoot faster. So implementing things that I maybe did in the off season. And the number one goal is always, to push the team and to help us get as far as we can. So our team goals come first, but definitely, trying to get better as a personal player or individual player.
Neil, go ahead.
Hey, Fee, yeah, you just kind of mentioned it there a little bit, was the quicker release. And I was just going to ask if there's any, other sort of tweaks you've made to your shot in the last year, or any sort of other maybe smaller skill type things that, you've been prepping for this, for your France team, but then also for this WNBA season.
So the two things that I worked on the most were shooting quicker and being able to come off ball screens. Those are the things that I feel like my game is weakest in. So that's what I tried to work on the most, and what I'm seeing a lot in the offense that we're running now. So it's good that I get to kind of put myself to the test and, do it in game situations more than just overseas.
Any last questions for Fee? Alrighty, that'll be it then. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.
Thanks, Fee.
All right, everybody. I will get this link out to you guys as soon as possible, and I'll be sending over game day links soon as well. It was great to see you all, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.